What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing you Ravens content every single day. Now, this is actually going to be the first time that I'm trying this. I'm going to try and do it more often whenever Joshua and I go live. It's a bit difficult because we don't have a setup where if you're watching on TikTok, you'll be able to hear both of us because TikTok doesn't allow for that, which is kind of weird. But overall, so if you're watching on TikTok, you want to hear both of us talking, obviously go check it out on YouTube. But we're just going to be talking mostly Ravens football, but if anybody asks questions and stuff like that, I see on TikTok, we see Sir Donald Duck, so I'm kind of going to be looking at both monitors, also side watching the home run derby. Everything's going on right now. But overall, I see Justin Stevens says, I'm more than ready to hear about the JK Dobbins topic. Thanks for having a live chat. It's going to be a lot of fun because, oh, wow. Happy birthday, Lisa. Shout out to Lisa. Shout out to Lisa. Happy birthday. But having J.K. Dobbins just go absolutely off on Rap Sheet because Rap Sheet was like, well, sources are indicating that, he may be on the PUP list to start the season. He's like, what are you talking about? And he was so mad. He was so mad.
I mean, I would be mad too, but it's because, let's be real. The narrative has been about these Ravens. Are they going to be the team to make the comeback? Are they going to be the team to go to the Super Bowl? Can they withstand all the firepower that's in the AFC? Between the Broncos, now Buffalo Bills with Von Miller, the Buccaneers is the Buccaneers. No, excuse me, Buccaneers in the NFC. Sorry. You got the Steelers back with Mitch Trubisky. I mean, everybody they're riding that wave. You got Joey B back, which I feel like they're going to lose. The Bengals going to lose out on Jesse Bates because they're trying to lowball one of their saviors to get them into that Super Bowl. I'm just saying. It's just a crazy thing, like how the narrative for the Baltimore Ravens. Oh, can Lamar Jackson do it? Is he going to sign a contract? Are they still going to be this running style team? Is the defense going to come back healthier? You know what? I know y'all not hearing a lot in this camp at Orange Mills. I know it's not a lot of information swirling around in the football world, but just leave the Ravens out of y'all mouth. We like to fly at this point. This needs to be like a 2019 year, and when I mean by 2019, we need to fly under the radar. Just keep on doubting us out. And I love the fact that my guys at Orange Mills, they're getting chippy, they're getting irritated. You sometimes like that, but at the same time, it's all about how you use that fuel and put it on the field. Because honestly, you can clap back at somebody, you can talk back to anyone. I mean, Lamar Jackson did with Bernard Pilot, but if all that aggression and all that anger don't translate to the field in a positive way, then we're still the laughing stock. So we gotta make, if we're gonna be this not taking BS from nobody, if we're gonna be the the bullies of the AFC, then we have to really come out there and show it.
You gotta put your money where your mouth is, right?
Absolutely.
When Lamar Jackson has been silent his whole career. Lamar Jackson has been that guy that has just tried to go to work and do his job. And he gets criticized for it, every single time he does anything. But he's just been kind of silent, and he's just been working on his craft and doing his thing. But this offseason, we've seen that change. Lamar Jackson is tired of keeping his mouth shut. And the best part is, it's not keeping his mouth shut. Maybe he is keeping his mouth shut towards the Ravens organization, but it's towards the media and the criticism that he gets for every little thing that he does. And so when you're looking at that, in this offseason, he has been calling people out. It started at the very beginning of the offseason. People were just like, oh, I don't know if Lamar Jackson can win. And, oh, at Lamar Jackson, at LJ, what's his at LJ_8 or New Era 8 or something like that. They're adding him and they're like, you're not the guy. And he's just like, wait a minute. I'm done doing this. I see people, we got just everyone, calls him a running back, and all the criticism that Lamar Jackson gets, he's always been silent. And this year he's decided he's not going to be silent. And the Ravens, like you said, Joshua, in 2019, the Ravens they didn't just beat teams. They just they took their spirits almost. Like you went into Baltimore and you came out sad. Like like you were not the team that you were initially.
Oh no, I mean if the anime watchers, Shadow DreamCon was this past weekend. It was an Agni Con for sure. So I mean, it was definitely one of those, Dragon Ball Z, Goku hit Ultra Instinct level ups. I mean, so it's really interesting just how this season's going to play out. I mean, like I said, I love the way these guys are working. I love the way these guys understand the mission. I mean, we've been here before, but like I said, at the same time, we got to put it out there on the field, man. We got to put it out there on the field. And
Yeah.
even though JK, yes, he was upset, everything like that. But me personally, do not rush the process to make a point to everyone that has doubted you. If you have to go on the PUP list and be ready for Week 6 against the Cincinnati Bengals, your spot is still secure. Yes, we brought in Mike Davis early. Yes, we drafted Tyler Beatty, but we're not looking to put those guys over you. If anything, they are insurance policies. I mean, Tyler Beatty will be here for the next 3-4 years, but I feel like he can take Devin Duvernay's spot, and Devin Duvernay could be more of a wide receiver if possible.
Oh, okay. I was like, Duvernay's gone. What's going on here? No, I like it.
I'm not going to get rid of Dev because Dev honestly hasn't proved that he could be a wide receiver yet because he's been used as a gadget guy. So I'm not going to just rule him out because he still is a wide receiver. Unfortunately, they've been putting him in gadget roles, and I feel like he can actually excel as a wide receiver. But me right now, James Prochet has won me over. Maybe Tyler Wallace, be that number 2 and 3.
Yeah.
With Rashad Bateman on the opposite side. I really don't mind that. That's actually that's not bad. That's not a bad trio, honestly. That's for sure hands and just some guys that can get the yak and that can move the chains. And honestly, that's what we need because we're going to run the ball. We all know that. We just need guys that got for sure hands, can move the sticks.
Yeah, and when we're looking at this team, Lisa, again, happy birthday, Lisa. She says, will John do away with the 2-point conversions? If so, why or why not? And I'm going to say no because of the way Lamar Jackson has been approaching this offseason. The goal has been to stick it to them. The goal has been to show that the other team is wrong, that the opponent, whether it's opponent on the football field or it's opponent, on social media or just a hater or a critic, whatever you want to call it. And I do want to say once again, if you're watching on TikTok, it's also, half the time I'm silent because I'm on YouTube with Joshua. We're going to get it figured out so we can be live on YouTube and TikTok and it'll make a lot more sense. But overall, they're trying to establish themselves. And in 2019, the whole mentality was, Lamar, do you want to go for it? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I want to go for it, coach. Yonda, you want to go for this? You want to go for it? And everyone backs it. Last year, they kind of went for it, but there was no emphasis on the we are better than you, thus we will go for it. It was just kind of, we got to go for it because if they get the ball, we're going to lose.
Right.
That was it was an afraid going for it rather than an attack. The Ravens were trying to play not to lose rather than trying to win. Which I know is one of those quotes that always sounds really stupid, but if you played sports, if you had coaches that were like, no, don't just like coast into the finish line playing only defense. Don't just sit back and let everyone else, not finish it. Yeah. Don't win by 2, win by, I don't know, I would say 200, but in most sports that's not really possible. Maybe bowling, if you play someone really bad and you're really good. But I see King Ivo's in here. How you doing? How you doing, Tonya? But Joshua, what do you think about this 2-point conversions? Are the Ravens going to stick with it? Or do you think that they're going to, quote unquote, learn from the failures that we saw last season? And
all right. Simple question, simple answer. Is Gregory Roman still our offensive coordinator? Then yes. All right. Then we're not going away from 2-point conversion. I mean, this is honestly something that this is seem like this is between John and the offense. You know,
Mm-hmm.
this shows the mentality. You know what? We're gonna go out there and get it done. We're gonna go out there and battle. It don't matter how hurt, beat up, bad, uh, beat up or bruised we are. We're gonna still go out there and fight like gladiators. I mean, I at times I love it, but sometimes it's not smart. It's not smart when we use the same play over and over again, and you have a whole lot of real estate on the other side of the field. I mean, hopefully, with these two additional tight ends, and with a pass when we get JK Dobbins back, and even get a Tyler Beatty on the field, we can have more options to pass the ball and use more of the field. I don't mind us going for the 2-point conversions. It's just the plays that we use that consistently everybody just flood the right with the levels type of play, I guess we can call it. With the out, it was ridiculous. It was hard to watch all season, and it don't matter who was the quarterback, but it was very sickening to the core. So we're still going to be aggressive on offense this upcoming year. We just got to use different plays. This year, the vault, whatever that is in the vault, needs to be open. Seriously, from game one, it needs to be open. Not
Yeah.
Patrick Ricard and Mark Andrews or Rashad Bateman. No, everybody needs to be spread out. There's too much real estate on the field to be just using up one side of the field. It's just too much.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, it just depends on the way that the Baltimore Ravens are going to attack the 2-point conversion. Because if they're going to do the Greg Roman specialty, I don't even know what else to call it. It's horrible. But overall, if they're going to keep calling the same thing, they need to stop doing it. But if they're going to get creative and they're going to attack and run the ball, because the Baltimore Ravens are the best rushing attack in the NFL. If they run the ball on a 2-point conversion, they should get 2-point conversions over 50% of the time. Over 50% of the time, they should get 2 yards running the football.
You know what? If they run the ball on 2-point conversions and had Daniel Falele as the fullback and Patrick Ricard as the running back, I'm fine. That shows me that you are willing to get aggressive and show me creativity. I'm going to put some of my biggest, nastiest men in the front and just push. And whoever is the biggest that can hold the ball and get across the line. Give me 2 points. Y'all not going to want to tackle that Patrick Ricard all day. You're not going to want to block Daniel Falele all day. So you gotta switch it up. I mean, we literally had years ago Refrigerator Perry. and he was doing the dang on thing. I mean, you got to get creative.
Yeah, and when you have Lamar Jackson, creativity is necessary because I don't want to say necessary. Maybe that's a bad choice of words, but it's more valuable than if let's say you're a team with Kirk Cousins at quarterback. You're the Minnesota Vikings. If you have a creative play, there's only so much creativity that you can have because you can't ask him to move. You can't really get him out. Now, you have weapons. You can get Dalvin Cook on an end around with Justin Jefferson doing something. You got weapons. Like, you can be creative. But if you're the Ravens, you can have, there's so many options. You could have Lamar Jackson line up at wide receiver with, Wildcat, anyone at quarterback. Have Lamar Jackson roll back. And it's not Lamar Jackson's a wide receiver. Like, remember rookie year Lamar Jackson where they were like, oh, yeah, just get him on the field? Use him like that in very specific situations where you have Lamar Jackson run that end around. No defense knows what's happening if Lamar Jackson is running a jet sweep. Because if the Ravens give it to Lamar, he can throw the ball or he can just run it in because all of a sudden Lamar Jackson is already in full speed trying to get 2 yards. Full speed running across the field. At some point, he's going to do that signature Lamar kind of wiggle, juke up the field and fall forward. Or if they don't give it to him, all of a sudden you've committed your entire defense to stopping Lamar Jackson because he's the most dynamic player on the field at any point of his life. He's always going to be the most dynamic player. So those types of things can be used. Having Lamar Jackson roll out to the right side and throw a flat route. Exactly.
And honestly, you did use the right word. The creativity is necessary. It's not like you're saying, oh, Lamar Jackson can't throw or can't make anything happen. No. And if we're going Marvel or DC Comics, he is that he's literally that that superhero. He's that Batman. He's that Captain America. He's he's who is it in X-Men? He's yeah, we can call him Wolverine in a
Yeah,
sense. I mean, he's just that guy that you had to prepare for. Knowing that you have one of those guys that you have to prepare for, there is so much opportunity for everyone else to eat. You just have to put him in the right position. And the fact that he's ran this offense to a T, why not open up the doors? Why not open up the floodgates? Why not give him more trust and get the play and early so he can make an audible or anything of that nature? I'm just saying it's too we see too much hindrance from the coaching staff and I mean, I'm all for Lamar. If Lamar doesn't sign before the season start, or even after the season start, after we win the Super Bowl, if he goes here to move on, I'm not going to be mad at Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson gave all his time and energy to this team and did what he can do. He may have felt like he didn't get the same in return. The same way people may talk about Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown, yes, he may have had the drops, but when he came alive, he came alive. He felt like he gave all that he could to this team, and he did what was best for him. And if Lamar Jackson felt like he needs to do what's best for him, Ravens fans, don't get mad at Lamar. Please don't burn his jersey. It's not that deep. This young man wants to get paid, and play for a team that is a contender, and let him really thrive as a quarterback. And I would not be mad at it.
yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I want to move on to Adit's question because this is a great question right here. It says the Baltimore Ravens. What are your thoughts on the Ravens using premium resources on non-premium positions like tight ends as the primary pass catchers and using non-premium tier of wide receivers to be secondary options? Now, the first thing that I'll have to say is I don't think the Ravens' goal is to have non-premium wide receivers. The Ravens haven't had non-premium wide receivers, but their goal has been to draft and develop them. They're not great at developing wide receivers. It's been a problem for them for the last 26 years. But overall, like they've been drafting guys. They've been trying to do it. Miles Boykin was a really liked prospect coming out of Notre Dame. Marquise Brown was the clear number one pick wide receiver. Obviously, other guys turn out better. That's fine. But the attempt has been there. They drafted Rashad Bateman last year. Now, hopefully, if Rashad Bateman, let's say Rashad Bateman comes out, I don't think it's likely. But let's say he comes out. He has a Justin Jefferson type second year, a Jamar Chase like, rookie season. And he's fantastic. Everyone goes, oh my goodness. Is everyone going to start looking at the Ravens like, wow, they just don't care about the wide receiver position? It's like, no. They're trying. They just haven't hit yet. And then using the pass catching tight ends, the Ravens didn't want to draft two tight ends. They wanted George Pickens and they wanted Calvin Austin, and both of them ended up going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I feel like they wanted one tight end, whether it was Kohler or Isaiah Likely, doesn't matter to me. I think both are really solid. That wasn't their goal. They're a best player available type of team, and they hit on their tight end. They hit with Mark Andrews. They got their guy. If they had hit on Hollywood Brown and Mark Andrews wasn't that good, everyone would be like, wow, the Ravens just don't get Lamar Jackson tight ends. It's like, no, they try their best, and it's what develops. And they keep trying at wide receiver, and they keep trying at tight end to get as many options as possible. They also keep trying at running back. They were set with Gus Edwards and Kenneth Dixon. That was a really good 1-2 punch Lamar's rookie year. Then they were like, okay, let's bring in Mark Ingram. See how that works. It was pretty good. And they were like, hey, JK Dobbins, you come on in. And he worked really well. Like, they keep trying. And it pans out at some positions and it doesn't at others. Now, is that because Gregory Roman is, a garbage can in a, bad hat? I don't know.
That's how you really feel. Tell us how you really feel, McCartney. Come on, man.
I feel like Greg Roman sucks. That's how I feel. He's garbage.
I mean, honestly, that's I want to say that's a tough one, but I mean, just to piggyback on what McConnell said, we really since the 26 years, going on 27 years of existence of being a NFL franchise, we just haven't really known how to hit on wide receivers. I mean, we've had I mean, we can go down the list. Mark Clayton, Travis Taylor, um, who was it? Clarence. I think we had Clarence Moore, a homegrown guy that went to Poly Tech. Oh, gee, I'm pulling the blank on his name. Marlon Brown showed flashes. I actually
Yep.
thought Marlon Brown could have been, a big name.
That was a
Honestly,
great rookie year from
yeah.
Marlon Brown.
I mean, what's another Maryland guy, Michael Campanero? He had flashes here and there, but he just couldn't. He just couldn't stay hurt. Another possession guy was Kamar Aiken. Uh, I mean, the list just go on. We just never had the right coaches to help develop these young men into being star-studded wide receivers, and we have to realize the thing that's been helping us win is a good, strong running game and a tight end for sure hands. And we have seen that since we've been in existence. Shannon
Mm-hmm.
Sharp, Todd Heap, Dennis Pitta, Ed Dixon. Now even when Hayden Hurst got back healthy at some point, Mark Andrews, Nick Boyle when he started getting his hands. So I wouldn't say that we're trying to shy away from the wide receiver position. I mean, we definitely showed that we are trying to invest into it. Um, I don't think we've really been being aggressive enough in the offseason nor in the draft. I mean, could we have moved up and got a wide receiver this past year? Sure, we could have. But I mean, we went for the insurance policy and got an offensive lineman, a center that Lamar
Mm-hmm.
Jackson. Hopefully, that he signs a new contract with us. He's going to have him for the next 4 to 5 years. I mean, but offensive line is something that should have been worked on before
Yep.
we get to his contract year. I mean, yes, you want to get the man weapons, but also you want to get him protection. You had him running around like a chicken with his head cut off, and then you got everybody been waiting and praying for his downfall when he finally got hurt. So it's like each year you need to strategically know how to go about attacking each position, because honestly, if a quarterback does not have any type of chemistry with any of his guys, his weapons, then we'll see how it goes. I mean, you keep on changing pieces in and out and hoping for the best. You can't keep doing that. You got to have some type of you got to have something solid, a firm foundation. I mean, when Tom Brady was literally in New England, he had Aaron Hernandez, he had Gronk, he had
Yep.
Julian Edelman, Wes Welker. Yes, I mean they even brought in Randy Moss and Antonio Brown, but still you had some of his core pieces. Brett
But
Favre,
who are the guys that got the money in that system? It was
right?
Gronk, and they were focusing on the tight ends. And they let Randy Moss go. They let Wes Welker go. They let all the wide receivers go because they focused on the tight end position. But
But
they
on
get no hate for it.
but on top of that, but think about it. Even though yes, they did let they did let their tight ends, but they also spread the ball around and
Yep.
kept it honest. Everybody still was able to get a piece of the rock and still still feel get the love. So the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, the Ravens, they got to show love to everybody and make sure everyone is effective enough that they put on the field. Literally, 2019 when we went into the playoffs, if we had the wide receiver core we got now into 2019 in the playoffs, I would take that. I see, we would have 4 less drops and maybe 2 more touchdowns with this wide receiver core now. And, Ravens and TCB family, you might say, Joshua, you don't know that for sure. I don't know that for sure, but I know one thing: these young men are more hungry than that wide receiver group we have. They have ability to stretch the play out, and they have the ability to to keep fighting. That wide receiver group we had in 2019, they didn't have that same fight. They didn't even have for
Yeah.
sure hands. I mean, those guys on that in that wide receiver group was lower than the tier that we got now. Lower, matter of fact, 2 times lower than the tier that we got now. So I would take this upgrade right now, really.
Yeah. And Adam brings up that the Ravens really don't have any cap space.
Right.
Ojabo still needs to be signed. He sees Josh Oliver, the weapon, Justice Hill, and Bang Powers cut or traded. Who else do you see gone? Now, it's funny because so many things don't get brought up. And they get talked about for a little bit, and then they don't get brought up again.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck Clark. Chuck Clark was a name where like we drafted Kyle Hamilton, and everyone was like, "Oh, Chuck Clark's gone," and it was like, hold on, one, the Ravens got to wait until they see what they have, and if they see that, you know what, Kyle Hamilton looks like he's ready to take that mic, or Patrick Queen's ready to take the mic, and they don't need Chuck Clark for the microphone, maybe they trade Chuck. If Lamar Jackson signs that extension, they can free up significant cap space by having, a signing bonus, converted signing bonus.
Yeah.
So overall, the Ravens can still have cap space if they make certain moves. So it's like a lot, like it's just kind of interesting. And Adam, I'm not trying to call you out. I just think it's really interesting how, like, as a whole, the narrative shifts in the offseason from Ravens fans about like who's staying and who's gone. Because the offseason started and it was like, okay, Chuck Clark, kind of on the chopping block, especially after Marcus Williams. And then we drafted Kyle Hamilton. It was like, okay, Chuck Clark's gone. And it was like, oh, nothing happened about that. Like, it's like once an idea gets planted, everyone goes, here's the date that they have to get moved by. And Chuck Clark was like a week after the draft. And he didn't get moved. It was like, oh, it's over. Guys, if... I believe Marcus May is the safety in New Orleans now. If a safety like that gets injured in preseason, in training camp, the Ravens go, boom, hey, we'll send you Chuck Clark. You send us back, a pick, or you send us back someone that's less expensive. All those types of things are possible moves the Ravens can make throughout the offseason. And David Ojabo doesn't need to be signed day one. He's not healthy. He won't be able to play till, I would assume, definitely past week 6. I would assume maybe week 8 would be a hopeful he can play.
It's going to be late October. It'll be late October for sure. But he's making progress, though. He's another one.
Exactly. And so, like, when you have a guy like that, that's, we don't need to sign him right away. No, obviously, I would love to get him signed. I want David Ojabo, officially signed, get him his money. But the Ravens got time. They can make a move. They can make a trade. Eric DeCosta is a guy that has been known to make trades. What happened last year? We had a 5th-round pick just chilling at the back of the depth chart, and the Ravens were like, oh, well, we don't know if we're going to be able to pay him. So we deal Sean Wade to the New England Patriots. Like, he's willing to make trades. He'll trade a rookie. He traded a rookie cornerback.
He's like, go corners not the right off.
I know. Like, week 6, we were like, we need Sean Wade. Where did he go?
Next thing you know, did he get Moss in England?
Hey, he did get Moss. I think he got Moss in preseason, though.
Okay.
I think it was like the final preseason game. He might have gotten Moss. But yeah, that was interesting. But is there a guy on the roster that you think that the Ravens could, move on from, cut or trade, or convert to cap space?
I mean, the only person I'm still seeing it right now is just Chuck Clark. I definitely see Kyle Hamilton moving up the ranks and get on the field day one. Me personally, if we go 3 safeties, I actually like Marcus Williams, Geno Stone, and Kyle Hamilton. I feel like that's going to be a nasty 3-man combo in the backfield. And Geno Stone, he has better ball skills. He doesn't mind getting dirty, getting those hits. And Indianapolis coach, one of their safeties actually retired. So, I mean, Chuck, and there's no disrespect to Chuck Clark. Chuck Clark has been serviceable. He earned his right on the field. I just feel like, with the way this future is going for this defense, I don't think he ends up being in the mix. And there's no disrespect to him. I don't feel like, his work going to be, promising to what we're trying to build right now.
Yeah, I think, like, there's just so many different ways that the Ravens can go through it. And the offseason gets interesting in training camp and preseason. Because that's when we see, hey, is this guy the guy that we need? Do we need Ben Bowers? Yeah. Do we need Ben Mason, who we brought back? Do we need, Adam, you brought up Josh Oliver. Do we need Mike Davis? Do we need, I think we do need him, but do we need Justin Houston? all these guys are players that we think about, but maybe a guy steps up. And I see Don C's in the chat. How are you doing, Don C? And Jaquan, Don C, Rainmaker, and I think those are all the people that joined. So shout out to all of you guys for joining. But like, there's so many guys that like we'll see in those competitions, right? Do the Ravens? How many tight ends do the Ravens keep? Is Nick Boyle making the roster? Maybe Kohler really steps up, and Isaiah Likely steps up, and they're like, you know what? Boyle's kind of in and out of the lineup all the time. Now, I think Nick Boyle makes the team, but someone could step up and knock someone down a spot and save some money. Amon Marshall plays well. All of a sudden, a guy, at the back end of the cornerback spot, maybe Kyle Fuller doesn't make the team. Because, the Ravens just don't really see what they brought in. Now, do I think he will? Yes. But there's always a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, you literally never know. I mean, do the guys go back next week?
Yeah, I believe so, because the Hall of Fame game is August 4th or 5th. So,
okay.
Waiting to see who gets that.
Yeah, I mean,
gets that spot.
Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely interesting. You got to see how these, position battles play out. But I mean, the David Ojabo thing, I wouldn't really, put a lot of emphasis on it. Like I said, the media, they don't have nothing to really talk about. So when it comes to the Ravens, they're going to pick, or whatever they can do to make it look bad or make it seem like, we got a crisis going on in Baltimore. And after I've seen what's happened in this off season with these other teams, cap is cap. So they will find a way and make a way to sign this young man.
Yeah. Absolutely. And, there's just so many different things to talk about with the Ravens offseason, especially just trying to figure out right before training camp, all of these positional battles and everything that's going on, what's going to happen with them.
As long as no corners get traded, I'm okay.
Yeah, don't lose any cornerbacks. That's the rule.
Hell,
it's got to be the rule.
Let's keep my knee, Amon Marshall,
We better keep him on, Marshall.
I mean, they brought Kerry Williams back too as a interim cornerback coach. So I'm interested to see, how that plays out. And that's another guy actually had a great. He had 2 great seasons with us and went on to Philly. I don't know if he won I don't think he won a Super Bowl with Philly. He might have.
I don't think so.
Okay.
And Lisa, I believe Lisa asked, who will take the spot of the late Jalen Ferguson? Obviously, rest in peace, Jalen Ferguson. Yeah. And Adam78 also asks, do you see an undrafted free agent linebacker like Diego Fago or McClain earning and taking over Jalen Ferguson's roster spot? I don't think Fago will, because I don't see him as an edge. Right. I see him more as a backup Mike. But McClain absolutely could. I think he's got real potential in the NFL. Good athleticism, good physicality. Could definitely get on the line. But we'll see. I don't know. Who do you think the edge rushers are for the Ravens to start the year, at least, because we won't have Ojabo?
And we won't have.
And maybe Tyus Bowser.
We may get him around week 3. I heard he is moving too. So Adafi, Justin. Could we see Broderick Washington maybe make an appearance on the outside? And I know Malik Harrison is also has been working outside linebacker as well. So we could see him with his hand in the dirt. I definitely feel like McClain will actually earn a spot on his team and make his presence known. He has good fluidity to the ball. He knows how to fight. He knows how to fight the block off, things of that nature. So I definitely can see him being one of our outside linebackers as well. So I mean, that's all the guys that I can think of right now at the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if any of the interior guys play on the edge at all. Matabike, Calais. I don't think Michael Pierce is getting out there. Maybe we could see Travis Jones for a couple of snaps in certain formations. Maybe if we blitz maybe we do a corner blitz, and we throw Travis Jones out on the edge, and get a guy like Marlon Humphrey blitzing in, just because Travis has that that power. Like maybe we could see that a little bit, but yeah, we'll see. And is Pierce still on the team? I believe Michael Pierce is still on the team, as far as I know.
Yeah, we haven't heard anymore. I mean, that situation was just some family issues. They didn't take care of it. Outside of that, we ain't hearing. I know I haven't personally heard any more about it. So
yeah, absolutely. And also, guys, everybody watching on YouTube, which is most of the people, I am working on setting up a way so where Joshua and I can go live on TikTok and YouTube simultaneously. Because right now on TikTok, it's just my voice, so it's probably really weird. I think there's one person watching on TikTok, so shout out to whoever's watching on TikTok. You can go over to YouTube and see myself and Joshua. But we'll set up a way to where we can have both of us going on at the same time, so you guys can ask questions on both sides. But shout out to everyone over watching on YouTube. And we also, I believe, just hit 3,200 subscribers. So shout out to everyone.
Appreciate y'all for doing, man.
Yeah, for doing that. And Kirk, is it safe to put paper towels in an oven? I mean, it depends on the heat, but I would not do it. I mean, if you've got it on 100, go for it. But
I mean, no microwave. That's okay.
Like, I mean, if it's underneath your food and it's wet, go for it. I wouldn't recommend it. Whenever it's a questionable thing to throw in the oven, it's just like you don't need to.
Just let it be. Just let it be.
Yeah. Let's see here.
So how upset were you when you didn't hear about Lamar being in the top 10 for QBs this upcoming season?
I wasn't that upset just because it was expected from the media.
Okay.
Like, I just know that the media is constantly wrong. So it's just like, oh well.
Like when I heard it, it didn't faze me at all. Like everybody's literally in the uproar. I'm like, yo, it's nothing news. Lamar Jackson. If you haven't been watching Lamar Jackson, that's on you. Like,
yeah.
When people try to put him and Dak Prescott in the same realm, though, that's when I get mad. Yeah. I'm not even going to go for the attack that I don't like cowboy players, nothing like that. But Dak Prescott and Lamar Jackson are two different styles of quarterback. Lamar Jackson can actually make things happen. Dak Prescott, if he does not have a strong running game behind him, is shown since he's been in college, he can't really make things shake. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an unfortunate result.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it was just kind of meh. But, overall, I mean, it's just a lot of, talk from all these people. Oh. All right, guys. What else do you guys want to hear about? Yeah. Happy birthday! Once again, happy birthday, Lisa. And Dauncey, I like your Baltimore Orioles football.
That's clean. Yeah, but but definitely, happy birthday to you, Lisa, once again.
Yeah.
And I hope you, stay safe. Many blessings to you, and have a great year. Honestly.
Yeah. Let's get that, year 28 Super Bowl.
Damn, make me feel old. Yeah, I'm 28 too, but I'm kind of better.
Yeah. We'll see. How many years do y'all think Ronnie Stanley can realistically be healthy enough to be an NFL athlete? I mean, he can play 8 more years. I mean, it really depends. If he doesn't have another major injury, he's fine.
Yeah, if he's 100% for sure, like it just like you said, it really depends on how he keeps on his nutrition, how he keeps his body regular. If he wants to start investing in stuff like Tom Brady and LeBron James, then that's what he needs to do. We see how old these guys are.
Absolutely. Let's see. Should we have taken 2 edge rushers? No, because the edge rushers, I mean, the guys weren't there. If the guys, were there, then, yeah, we should have taken him. But I felt like there wasn't any spot. Maybe when we went with Tyler Linderbaum instead of Jermaine Johnson, but like Linderbaum, I'm totally okay with it. Like a 5th round edge rusher isn't going to do anything really his rookie year, most likely. Like maybe in 3 years they would be able to be good, but we can, sign someone and stuff like that. But we'll see exactly what they do. But I don't know, Joshua. Do you think we should have gone for another edge rusher?
I mean, in hindsight, when I actually look back at the draft, we won, so I can't really be mad at it and be like, oh, we should have did this, we should have did that. Yeah. I mean, the only things I could really say, I kind of wish we would have got a wide receiver, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. We have to realize who's our offensive coordinator and what type of offense is going to be ran this upcoming season. So I don't see a real issue of us taking 2 tight ends versus 2 edge rushers. At the end of the day, you got 3 preseason games. Guys are going to get cut. Veterans are going to get cut. Ravens do what they do best, and they get some guys that still got some juice in them. And honestly, if you got a Adafio Wade that can go damn near every snap, and you got a veteran defensive edge rusher on the opposite side that can still get to the quarterback and they still can get some good moves. Honestly, we're going to be in good business. I'm really not mad about that. We got enough. We got enough for you. Mm-hmm. And veterans on the defensive side of the ball where, we can come out and play together as a cohesive unit.
Yeah. I think we had a great draft, and the Ravens took the best players available. And, yeah, Enogbare was available, but, we needed positions. We needed a punter. We needed honestly, I think, we needed tight ends because we don't know about Nick Boyle. And we needed a pass catcher, and that's what Isaiah Likely is. It's less so a tight end; he's more of just a true pass catcher.
Yeah, if anything, it's crazy because I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, well, who's number 2? Who's number 3?" It's really not going to be any number 2, number 3 at the Mark Andrews for the simple fact, we run so many different packages, we run so many different plays with our tight end set. So, we just gotta wait and see how this offense is running, honestly.
Absolutely. Yeah, Justin, I definitely agree. We needed to up the O-line.
Yeah, it's sad that we wait to his contract year to up the O-line, but here we are now.
Yeah.
You guys knew he was going to be the franchise quarterback. You guys knew he was going to start. John Harbaugh, he saved your job. Mm-hmm. You knew you was going to keep this guy. So, honestly, if Lamar leaves at this season, it's really, you can't blame nobody else but the top of the organization. Everybody can say, oh, well, Eric DeCosta gave him Hollywood. He finally got him a center and, gave him JK Dobbins. But look at the timetable of when and how he got these guys. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Saying if you have a Michael Vick-esque or Randall Cunningham type of quarterback, why would you sign Andre Villanueva as a starting offensive lineman for this type of guy? I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yep. And Lisa, well, Charlie Kohler started. Will he learn from the bench? I think he'll be tight end 3 probably. So kind of starting. He'll play. He will play, I think. Because we use 3 tight ends so much that he'll be on the field every game, I think, barring injury, obviously.
Yeah, you definitely gonna see bump. Even though Nick Boyle, I want to see, has he been working out with Jerome Harrison? Is it Jerome or James Harrison?
James.
Okay. I think he's been working out with James Harrison this offseason. If y'all know James Harrison workouts, it's crazy. And Nick Boyle has came back, pretty much like a machine. So, he plans on hopefully playing this whole season. I hope he does. So I definitely see, like I said, Kolar and Isaiah Likely going to see the field in different packages and different schemes. And I feel like these guys are definitely going to flourish because I feel like they are going to be one of those unexpected factors to this new coming offense.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, when Lamar Jackson had a good offensive line in 2019, he was all right. I would say he was all right. Only a historic season.
Yeah.
Only. But you guys have any other questions, stuff to talk about? Shout out to the 44 people in the YouTube stream.
Love to see it, man. Love to see it.
Yeah. Also I'm watching the home run derby right now, so
How's that going?
it's only the second round, but Rodriguez beat Corey Seager, and Acuna had a horrible showing, so I'm assuming Alonso will definitely beat him, but
Okay.
we'll see.
I know. I know the Orioles drafted Matt Holiday's son.
Yeah. Yep.
So shout out to them. I mean, shout out to the Orioles even being in the 500s.
That's true. Barely, but they're in.
Yeah, they're picking it up at the right time. I mean, so I'm not mad at it at all. Still a Dodgers fan, but at the end of the day, but I get a whole team some love and some respect.
Yeah, and OHMG, in terms of contract restructuring, I think the guy that can get the restructure. Oh, who can get the restructure? I'm trying to remember. There's someone. I can't remember who it is.
Would it be Ronnie? So I think Marlon already restructured.
It's Ronnie or Marcus Peters. I can't remember which one.
I thought it, but then is he like on 1 year or something like that?
Yeah. I think if Marcus signs an extension,
okay,
then they can restructure it. But yeah, and Lisa, right now Rodriguez is into the next round, and it looks like Pete Alonso will also be into the next round, but we'll see. Marlon hasn't restructured. Yeah, so maybe Marlon could get a restructure, but yeah, we'll see. If we don't address wide receiver, I don't think it's going to address because we have addressed wide receiver. Like, Lamar knows that the Ravens are trying to get him weapons, so I feel like it'll be fine. I'm fully expecting an extension, a contract, whatever you want to call it.
I don't think the wide receiver thing will be the issue. I feel like it might be the scheme that we're running.
Yeah.
I feel like Lamar wants to continue showcasing his skill as a quarterback. I mean, granted, yes, he's put on the 15 to 20 pounds of muscle. I love that for him. He's coming back this year stronger, healthier, by any means necessary. So he'll be able to take the hits. And honestly, he's been doing great so far, not to take any big hits. So, I mean, he has the awareness to do that. But, when it comes to willingness to sign a contract and still be with a team, I feel like there has to be some type of level of trust that, well, for me, I mean, of course, I do feel like, they trust him to be the franchise quarterback, but I feel like they don't trust him enough to let him be, the quarterback that he can be. Honestly, people want to try to handicap him and say, oh, he needs to be a running style quarterback. Did y'all not watch him in Louisville? I mean, heck, did y'all not check him out in high school? He was slinging the rock. He was in shotgun. So he was in a pro style offense in Louisville. I mean, went for 4,000 yards, 4,000 passing yards to get the Heisman. I mean, help me. I'm like, help me help you guys out. Figure this thing out, because I mean, Lamar Jackson is a QB. He doesn't have to prove nothing else to you all. But I feel like having that chip on his shoulder, he's going to want someone that can still elevate his game and help him become that air raid type of quarterback in this league. Because I mean, yes, it is good to have our own identity as a run heavy offense, but at the same time, it's good to have that element of surprise, and we haven't been using that to the best of our ability. So I feel like the willingness to sign a contract will be coming down to a new scheme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and indeed, I wouldn't trade for Juan Soto. Sorry, I wouldn't do it for the Braves. I just think that they already don't have a great ranked farm system, and then it's just like they don't like the money can be used in better aspects for the Braves. Now the Dodgers, they have the money to do it.
But we won't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Juan Soto's a great guy, but I mean, a great player. But just this whole situation within itself, they don't need that type of energy in in the dugout right now. So I mean, I think they'd rather get the homegrown guys in the stable and just have them move up. I mean, of course, we have made trades in the past, but I think they like what we got out there so far.
Yeah, and also I wouldn't give up Michael Harris for Juan Soto. And Michael Harris is going to be needed to get Juan Soto. I think Michael Harris has the potential to be better than Ronald Acuna. So, like, I mean, he's, I think, going to be one of the best players in baseball in a few years. So, I don't see the upside of it. Like, I think he's a great player, but, like, to get a DH, like, he's not playing defense. Or if he plays defense, he's not playing good defense.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. I'd rather have Michael Harris and Acuna and Duvall / Rosario / Ozuna.
I ain't mad at it at all. I like it.
Yeah. But, all right, guys. I think that's probably going to wrap it up. It was an awesome stream, you guys, coming through. But I don't have any more weddings or anything to go to, so the daily content should be consistent throughout till week one, till I'll be in New York for week one. So, up until that point, should be daily content. But thank you everybody for coming through to the stream, and we'll see all of you again next time.